words today. Today, I want to talk about vocabulary. It's something that a lot of my students come to me and they say, "Oh, I need more vocabulary. I can't make I can't create the sentences I want to create, and I'm finding it difficult to understand what others are saying to me." So today we're chatting about vocabulary. There's lots of numbers bandied around, and the numbers are different for every website. So between 1 and 3,000 words, you can lead you to have a understand 75% of most um, conversations. Anything above 4,000 is advanced. There's a variety of different numbers, and while I appreciate this is on a general basis, most people are using English in certain circumstances. So you might be using English at work and you might be going home and socializing with your friends in your native language. So when it comes to that, do you really need to be able to talk about, I don't know, the current political situation or the weather or playing golf, or some of these things might be useful for building rapport with your English speaking colleagues or management. But generally speaking, you know the type of words that you want to use. And the key to improving your vocabulary and it really making a difference to start you off is to find the words that you need for your conversations. So if you do presentations, you will need one set of vocabulary. If you're a salesperson, you'll need to discuss sales figures. If you are a banker, you need some banking details. If you're a doctor, you need some doctors, some medical terms. So with regards to words and pronunciation and grammar, in expanding your knowledge in the area that you need to know more of, is one of the key areas. And to learn a bunch of words is a bit boring for everyone. And the basic way that I teach my students to learn is you take a word that you really want to learn, and then you create your sentence around it, which means you're using it, and then do your best to use it in everyday life. That is one of the best ways. I've also been looking a little bit into words to learn, and if you say the words out loud, that will help you to break them down a little bit. So if you learn the word practical, you then will know the meaning of impractical, which means not practical. And you will also know the meaning of the word, or be able to have a guess at the word practically, which is, if you say the word, you look at the word, how it's spelt, and then you say it out loud, practically, which means it's practical. It's almost there. So there's reading the words out loud as well as creating a sentence will reinforce all of those words in your mind. And if you're learning words that are relevant to you, then this will help you to use it regularly, because the key is lots of keys, but you've got to practice frequently. The more you practice, the more the information will stay in the part of your brain that you need to access frequently. Also uses learning phrases that are useful for you. So if you're a very beginner, you would use the words, "How are you?" As a more advanced person, you would increase that knowledge with "How you doing?" And all of those the ways that native English speakers would actually say, "How are you?" They don't say, "How are you?" Most native English speakers, when they're out of the workplace, would say, "How are you doing? How's it going? How's it hanging?" There's lots of different phrases that we would use. So with regards to learning vocabulary, consistency is absolutely essential. So if you can do 2 words a day, every day, then that would be 700 words. Just over 700 words in a year. And that easily can take you from one level to another level. And the most important thing is that you're learning every day and that you retain that information. So I always recommend having a Google Sheet, and then you can review the words really easily and just add new words to the bottom or the top, however you want to do it. And then you can have your some example sentences, which you can hide and then test yourself. Because if you're not using the words frequently, then another way of retaining them is to test yourself to make sure that you remember the information. It's very good for exams, for example, if you have a lot of words to learn for exams. I'm really excited to say that I'm launching a boot camp, vocabulary boot camp. Doesn't that sound like fun? There's no muscle. The only muscles being used are the ones in your mouths for those tricky words. So within the boot camp, I'm going to give you 2 words or phrases every day. You will have to incorporate that into your own sentences, which you can then give to me and I will give feedback on, which means you're guaranteed to know whether you're using the words correctly and you can be confident in your use. At the end of every week, there'll be a quiz to make sure that you've retained the information. At the end of the month, there'll be a quiz to make sure you've retained all the information. And there'll be a private Facebook group. So I will encourage any vocabulary related questions, and I will jump in there as many times as I can during the average day, and I will answer all the questions that you give. There'll also be some free live trainings that I will do. More details will come as we open the group. The group starts on the 1st of November, but I'm going to open it a week before to start letting the action takers in. And then I'll actually do some free training as well for those people that have actually gone in early. And these will be just live training. They will not be recorded. So they will only be available for those people who are actually in the group. So it's only $60. If you're interested at all, please, I'm going to drop the link underneath. But what this will do for you, I know I'm just going over the 7 minutes, but what this will do for you is this will give you the start, and it will get you into a routine of just looking for your new vocabulary every day. I'm going to give you the first set to start with, obviously for the first month, but then after that, you're into a routine of doing new words every single day and remembering the ones you've already learned. And before you know it, you will be absolutely storming the vocabulary. And then once you're confident with your vocabulary, then what else is there? This is what it's all about. So I have to go because it's now 8 minutes. So have a wonderful day, and hopefully I'll see some of you in the group. Take care. Bye.